struggle is real. It's me versus me, the struggle is real. Why don't you choose yourself? Choose yourself right now. It's me versus me, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. What do I do with this? Oh, it's a stretchy band. Okay, I know what to do with this. Hey, welcome back to It's Me versus Me Life Change Challenge Series 1, Episode 14. We're getting so close to the end of our first series, and there is still so much left to cover. I feel like it's crunch time, and we're just getting started. Last week, we had planned to talk about metabolism and plateauing on this week's program. However, we were getting ready for that program. We had an unbelievable opportunity fall into our hands. And so we still are going to talk about metabolism and plateauing on a future show. But tonight, we are taking our show into a totally different direction. Tonight, we have the famous strongman storyteller, Tim Fox, who can bend horseshoes, steal barbells, skillets with his bare hands. No magician funny business. And he can break chains and rip in half a deck of cards with his bare hands. Also, and we are going to reach out to Tim via Zoom so he can tell us his story personally, how he became a strongman competitor, his workout routine, his eating habits, how he stays motivated and keeps from getting injured, and much, much more. If you're wondering why we are featuring Tim tonight, Tim is going to be featured locally right here in Paris, Tennessee this coming Saturday, January 20th, 2024 for the Real Hope Youth Center, which is having an open house featuring strongman storyteller Tim Fox. Along with Tim, we will be talking with Carl Anderson about that right here in the studio to tell us all about the upcoming open house, when and where it is taking place, things happening at the event, including what we should expect from Tim Fox. Then he is going to tell us what we can look forward to in 2024. Now, big things are happening for It's Me versus Me Life Change Challenge. We are expecting to reach a wider audience with our weekly show. It's Me versus Me Life Change Challenge show, along with our YouTube channel, is going to go to cable, along with Roku and Fire Stick and many other streaming devices, as will be featured in 83 countries, along with Africa, Europe, and Asia, into 56 million homes and 256 million viewers on the Now Television Network Christian TV channel. We will be airing our first 30-minute broadcast on February 1st, 2024, along with every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. Now, I'd like to share the journey of Jerry, one of our current participants who has lost 45 pounds when we were going to follow her through her car wreck, rehab, life challenge journey, and the huge milestone that we hit last week, swimming. Jerry's story is truly inspirational as she had her car wreck on 12/19/22 and lost her leg 12/22/22. Since starting her Life Change Challenge, she's lost 45 pounds and has 61 more to go, plus at least 3 surgeries. But what an inspiration with her show of courage, confidence, hard work, tenacity, and just how hard the struggle really can be with an amputated leg as we take a journey with Jerry. Watch these little clips, and I know you will be motivated from all the hard work. Hello. Let's straighten that up. There you go. Let's see it. Hurry quick. Do it. Wait. Do a 360. Turn, 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 turn. I'm gonna run out of time. Okay, that's definitely showing out. Come back. Good job. Today's 219 or 220, 23, 219, 219. I have no idea. You know, it's been December 19th, January 19th, February 19th. That's 3 months.
They're just like a straight up and then they're done. But this one just keeps on going. So if you see this and you know it is easier for you to go backwards, go ahead and turn around. Now go for it. All the way up.
There you go. Good
Nice.
job.
So much easier.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's awesome.
This is still
Now you can still go up. Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yep, that's good. Really good. Yeah, get your technique going. Let's see how you do in that bed that's way too tall for you. Let's see how you do it.
Out this tonight so that way I can put
You can put it over here. What's that? You can do it.
She's videoing my back, but getting in this bed.
Oh, okay. If I'd have known that, I wouldn't have walked
Who cares? We don't care if you walk in. We shortened it to see if it's better for you. So let's try that this first time. Well, that was easy.
Yeah, it was easier. This is easier.
Wow. Now can you, well, we're not going to hop with that, but, okay. So you want to sit back down, grab the bar. There you go. Oh, you just got That's funny. Great. Good job. Woohoo! Under your leg. Yeah, there you go. That works your core because you're having to lean down. Yep. Now hit it like a volleyball. You can. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Good job. Nice.
Yeah, good job.
cannot touch the floor at all. That's harder than you think. So we swim, we throw the ball as far as we can, and then we swim the kind of, whether we want a breaststroke, side stroke, backstroke, and then we swim to where the ball went, and then we throw it again. And then we pick a whole nother, we cannot do two of the same swims back to back. That's to work out every muscle that we have, which it really does. So there's Julie right here. We'll do it 15 minutes solid. We can't do anything but this. And then we're going to take the camera and move over to the lines here. So here we go. And I'm going to finish my 15 minutes. I'll tell you what, getting in that swimming pool with Jerry was amazing, and it is amazing. And we're trying to go every day to get her built up. And I hope that you are inspired by her story. And we'll just be right back. Y'all stay tuned. Are you struggling with your weight? Do you feel like your health is starting to fail and the fight is just too hard? Well, you're not alone. Many people are fighting the same battle every day. Some win battles, but few win the war. And why is it so hard to win? Because you're fighting against someone who knows you very well, someone who knows your weaknesses and your faults. And who is this enemy? It's you. It's me. That's where It's Me versus Me Life Change Challenge comes in. Hi, my name is Gary Boyd, and I would like to introduce you to a life change program that you can live with and love. What will it take for you to make the necessary changes to take your life back? You can either pay now or you can pay later. The choice is yours, but just know your life is worth it. Sign up to be a participant at itsmeversusme.tv and take back your life today. As the old saying goes, just choosing changes nothing, but deciding changes everything. So why not be a part of a group of people who have chosen life and will receive much encouragement and direction throughout the journey. And I'm right there with you, as I've lost 22 pounds so far, and my household has lost 90 pounds, so we know the struggle is real. Through high-tech 3D body scanning, It's Me versus Me can help take the guesswork out of your fitness and weight loss goals through periodic measurement of your progress. So if you're tired of being tired and watching the world go on without you, make the decision. If not now, then when? Log on to www.itsmeversusme.tv to find out more on how to become a participant. Space is limited, so act fast. Remember, the struggle is real, so let's fight this battle together and be our best selves. It's me versus me, the struggle is real. It's me versus me, the struggle is real. And welcome back. And now let's get started with our introductions to Tim Fox and Carl Anderson. Hey, Carl.
Hello, how are you doing, Gary?
I'm good. I'm good. And Tim, welcome.
Hey, good to be here. Good to be here.
Good to have you tonight. So we're talking about the real, and you called it Recreation, Education, Arts, and Leadership.
Yes, Real Hope Youth Center.
Real Hope Youth Center. And just a little backstory for everybody. I was thumbing through Facebook today, and I saw your post, and I said, what is this? And I couldn't read it. So I just sent you a message, said, I can't read this. And this is how we got started. And it's funny because when I was at church on Wednesday night, I had this huge vision in my mind, in my heart, about how we were going to reach the youth of the city. So when I saw that, and it says strong man, and then it said youth Real Hope Youth, and I thought, I don't know if that goes with my vision about what I think, and so then you and I talked, and then Tim, agreed to come on tonight too, which is very exciting. And so we're just going to talk about this whole big thing that you've got going on in Paris and Henry County. So introduce yourself and tell us about yourself.
Yes. I'm Carl Anderson. I'm the director of Real Hope Youth Center. I started with Real Hope in 2019. Their previous directors, Lindley and Becky Smith, they retired. And they've since moved back to Michigan, I think is where they're from, or Illinois. But I started in 2019, and when I started, is because the Lord laid it on my heart that I wanted to give back to our community. I wanted to do something to show my appreciation because of all the help that I had received when I was growing up as a kid. But after I started, I realized we are an after-school enrichment program for youth, grades 1 through 5. We've done that since 2010. And if I can pat myself on the back for a little bit, we've done a great job at that. It's not just a babysitting service, it's after-school enrichment program. We have dance classes for the children, exposing them to different types of dance. We expose them to different cultures in the world through a lot of our programs. So it's an enrichment program for children. But after I was with them for a little bit, I'm like, our name is Real Hope Youth Center. And God laid it on my heart that we need to grow into our name. And that's what we're currently doing. We have our current program of after-school enrichment, but we are working on this vision to build a full-service youth center for the youth of Paris and Henry County.
I think that is amazing. So you said that y'all are meeting at the First Baptist Church here in town. And now how does a child get to be part of that after school program? Sure. How's that work?
I want to tell you this. We started in 2010. The county allowed us to work out of the old central school, and we are very appreciative for that. It was a place for us to be able to start our program. But I realized when I came on that we really needed to get to a more secure facility for our children. I mean, it's the day that we live in, unfortunately, that we've got to provide this kind of security. And so I started looking for places where we could relocate. And the pastor of First Baptist Church, he came to me. He was aware of what we were doing. And he said, Carl, I want to show you our facilities we've got right here and to see if this would work for you. Wow. And so he gave me a tour of the places that they could provide it, and it was fine. We have great security. We're more centrally located. And so that's how the move took us from there to here at First Baptist Church. We love it. We've got 30 kids in the program. Unfortunately, that's all we can have. So right now we are full, but we do have an application process that parents can fill out and put on file with us. And we do have families relocate to different counties, different areas of the county. And so sometimes we lose children and we're able to plug other children in.
Now, do they call like the First Baptist Church, or how do they get a hold of you that way?
We advertise over the city over Facebook we use electronic billboards and also through word of mouth. But it's a Real Hope number is 731-333-1320. You can call that number. We have a website, realhopeyouth.com. You can go on there, and we have a section on there, a form section you can go to, download the application there, or you can drop by my office at 302 North Brewer Street and pick up an application.
It's funny that you would say that because I have seen Real Hope, R.E.A.L.
Yes.
And I had no idea what it was. It took a botched up post to get my attention.
Right.
And when you said that, you said, "Oh, we're on the billboards, we're on there." Yes, I remember that. I
That's
do
right.
remember that, and that's crazy. So yeah, people can get in contact with you. Now, do your teachers, do they volunteer? Or do they get paid, or
We
how's that work?
have two paid teachers, and then we utilize volunteers, and we have several good volunteers that come in different days, whatever their schedule will allow, to assist and help in the process.
Now, are you looking for more volunteers?
Our forms page on our website also has a volunteer application that you can go on and fill out, or drop by the office and get one.
This is a full service show here. We need to get what you need.
Absolutely. There is a criteria for our adult volunteers. As you might imagine, they have to pass a background check because you're working with children.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you've decided, so you've had it since 2010, and in 2019 you took over being director. And then you decided now it's 2024, and we went through COVID, all that. So that kind of stifled y'all a little bit. So now you're looking to build a multi-million-dollar thing, and you've already got the land. So tell us where the land is.
We've acquired 5.5 acres of land at the corner of India Road and Pepper Drive. It's in the growth pattern of the city. It's a nice area, and we're working now to raise the money to build the building. And I know in business, you're going to have to make sure of all of your money before you start building. We're not doing it that way, and I'm sorry if that causes business people to cringe. People donate to Real Hope because they believe in what we're doing. And we are taking the money that people donate, and we are investing it in this vision as we go. And therefore, our first step is we've got the land. We've been under contract with L.I. Smith and Associates here locally, and with Meridian Architects out of Nashville. They've done a rendering of our building and done our building specs for us. And right now, we're waiting on a contractor to get out there and start prepping the land for us. Now, we don't have the money to start building yet. But we're using the money that people have donated and given us in good faith. And I want you to know, every dollar that you give to Real Hope Youth Center, I personally will guarantee you that this is going toward the work of providing a full service youth center for the youth of Paris and Henry County.
I'm actually speechless about it. I'm just absolutely speechless about it. I'm so excited. When you talked about you're going to have something every month, once a month, you called it a pop-up.
And Teen Center Pop-Ups.
Teen Center Pop-Up. And so I said, well, would you be willing to come to our church? Because we have a gymnasium and things like that. And of course, and then you said it's not a church-based, really.
Real Hope is an independent nonprofit organization. We're not church affiliated. We happen to be meeting right now our program in First Baptist Church, and we're very thankful and grateful for that. But our work is a civic work for all citizens of Paris and Henry County.
Yeah.
If we help your child, we've helped our community.
Absolutely. Here.
I spent a career, and Tim knows about this. I spent a career working in the Department of Justice for the federal prison system. I've seen the back end, the brokenness of our neglect from the front end, and all the billions of dollars that the federal government is spending on the back end to try to repair broken men and women, and how little money is available on the front end to help these children, make better decisions in life.
And you're a 501c3.
We are a 501c3. Everything that you donate is tax deductible.
And you have 9 people on the board. Right.
We have 9 people on our board. Judge Vicki Snyder here in Paris, she's on our board. We've got brothers Steve Gallimore, the pastor of TVCC Church, is on our board. We have bankers, we have finance people. We have a good representation from our community, a good basis of giving us feedback and information moving forward in the process.
Wow, wow. So your vision is going to be when you get the building erected up and everything's on a status quo go, what's your vision for what's going on in that building? I want to know.
I want you to know this because this is a big question that a lot of people have. I want our youth to have a place to go other than parking lots and parks and side streets on Fridays and Saturdays nights.
Absolutely.
Saturday nights. I want them to have a place to go where it's their place. There will be adults there to oversee the process, but we won't be looking over your shoulder. It'll be your place. You will know this is a place for youth. And we will have plenty of things that'll be going on inside that building to entertain youth and let them know it's their place. There will be food, of course. With teenagers, there's going to have to be food.
Gotta have food.
Gotta have food. We'll have all those things. But it's not just that everything will happen there. It'll be a hub of information of everything that's happening in the city and the county for young people.
Wow.
Right now, we have a lot of things sports-wise available to our young people, but it happens in pockets. And if you're not a part of that group, you may miss the sign-ups. You may miss when this is starting and when that is starting. This will be a place that they will be able to know that I can come here and I can find out the information about this, anything related to young people and things going on in the city of Paris in Henry County. This is where I can get the information.
Well, I can feel your passion. I have that too. I already have it. I had it last night or Wednesday night, last night when I was at church, and I have it when I was talking to you today, and I have it now. I would love to be a part of what you're doing, and I'm going to talk to you about that later. Now, when you talk about when the building's up and you have this vision of all this, now when we walk in the doors, what are we kids gonna do? What are we doing? Are we playing basketball? Are we playing volleyball? Are we playing games? Or do we have any kind of classes? Do we have maybe guidance counselors on staff or whatever to help with kids who are having problems? Or what does that look like when we walk in the door?
Well, I can tell you this, Gary, that I do not have all the pieces yet.
I believe it.
Every day when I get up in the morning, I don't mean to throw too much of a religious thing over this, but I pray, Lord, help me to find those pieces. Help me to identify those pieces. You may be one of those pieces that that I was looking for. I want to find those pieces. I'm the bus driver. I know that. I'm the bus driver. I'm not the man that can do all these things. Somebody has got to drive the bus. Somebody's got to haul that snowball to the top of the hill and give it a chance to start going down. If it was easy, it would have been done 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
It would have been done 25 years ago. It had been done 50 years ago. Now, I want to tell you something right quick, dear. I was talking to a man, a banker here in town 2 years ago. He came up to me and asked me, he said, Carl, and I was shocked that he knew my name. He said, Carl, how's things going with the youth center? And I was shocked that he knew my name, but I began to tell him, and I gave him my spiel that I do, and part of that was, if it was easy, and I started going through the years. When I got to that 50 years, if it was easy, it'd been done 50 years ago. He stopped me. He said, Carl, we tried to do that 50 years ago.
Wow.
You know what? I got the newspaper clippings from where they tried. I didn't know it was him. I had it on from the day I started at Real Hope and realized the vision of building this full-service youth center. I found these newspaper clippings and I had them on my vision board.
Wow.
50 years ago. the old Mitchum company that was downtown here in Paris, the city block where the city fountain is
Absolutely.
right now, they moved out of that building and built a new facility out on 54 Highway. When they did, they donated that building to the Henry County Youth Center.
Wow.
Paris Henry County Youth Center. It was right there in the newspaper clipping. I put it up on my board. Fry Rexall Drugs used to be a downtown drugstore. They had a soda jerk fountain in there. When they closed down, they donated, right there in the newspaper clippings, donated that soda jerk machine to the Paris Henry County Youth Center. And yet when I tried to find out more about it, it disappeared. Well, he was the guy. And he said, Carl, we tried to do this 50 years ago. And I said, well, what happened? He said, well, we got it up and we got it going and we got us some directors in there. And after a while, it just fizzled out.
Wow. Wow.
And there's two ways to look at that. One way you can say, well, look at there, it won't work. They tried it didn't work. I refuse to look at it that way.
I didn't even see that part.
Yeah, I refuse to look at it that way.
Oh, wow.
Is the need there? Is the need still there? If the need was there 50 years ago, even more so
Now.
today.
Absolutely.
It was always been hard growing up, but at least when I was a kid, I may get bullied at school. I may get laughed at on the playground or whatever. But when I went home, I was the baby of 7 children, no father in the home, just my mama and my brothers and sisters. But when I got behind those doors, I knew I had love, I had peace, I had acceptance. Our kids don't have that promise anymore.
No, they don't.
Because of modern technology. Mom and dad could be in one room watching TV and their child is getting bullied in the other room and they know nothing about it.
No, they don't.
So if it was true then, even more so now. So what it didn't start then. I hate that it didn't, but it doesn't mean we can't start now.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing here.
Well, and God, and again, try not to make it a religious thing, but in the timing that it's supposed to be. And now is the time that it really needs it. Because if we don't do it now, we could really lose our kids forever. And I think that is huge.
We've got to do something. There's no guarantee. You build a youth center. There's no guarantee you're gonna save. You're gonna reach every kid. But I'm gonna tell you what. That doesn't mean you don't set the table. That doesn't mean you don't give them the proper tools to make better decisions. That's our responsibility to our kids.
Wow! I'm just stoked about the whole thing. I can't even believe it. Okay, getting on to this other, but I'm already a believer and you're going to count on me to do whatever I can do to help. So now Saturday be the 20th of January.
Yes.
You got a big show coming up. You got an open house. And it's going to be give the address, if you would.
It's going to be it's our open house. It is the kickoff event for our Gateway to Real Hope Teen Center pop-ups. This is our teen engagement initiative to start engaging these teenagers. But this very first one is going to be an open house. We're inviting everybody to come in. We want mom and dad and grandmoms and granddads and concerned citizens. We want everybody. We want kids. We want teenagers. We want them to come out, drop in. It's going to start at 4. It goes from 4 to 9. You can go in and out as you please. We want you to see what we are providing in these teen center pop-ups. Now, every other one will just be for 12 years to 18 years. But this initial one's for everybody. We want people to be able to see what it is that we're providing for these teen center pop-ups. And free food. We're going to feed you free drink, chips, the whole 9 yards. And we're going to give you some top-notch entertainment at 6 o'clock.
Oh, at 6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock, my main man, Tim Fox, will be taking the stage.
Welcome, Tim, to our conversation right
Hey,
here.
it's good to be here. Really great to be here tonight.
And so y'all are just now meeting for the first time. Y'all talked on the phone, I'm sure. But to be able to see y'all face to face is going to be so incredible. So you're going to be here on Saturday. Your show is at 6 o'clock. So tell us a little bit about you and what you do for a living, because y'all both are in law enforcement. And so I would like for you to tell people what you do now, if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am. No problem. I'm a sheriff's deputy in Bedford County, which is Shelbyville, Tennessee. It's about 3 hours from Paris. And believe it or not, I started when I was 20 years old, and I'm 44 years old now. So I've been in it 24 years this March, and it's really flown by. It feels more like 10 years, but
Right.
that's been my calling. And my other calling is doing the strongman shows. So I can't wait to come and do my strongman storytelling show. And to give you kind of a preview of what it is, I'm going to be bending horseshoes. I'm going to be bending frying pans, big steel bars. I'm going to tear decks of cards. I'm going to be breaking chains. I'll break a baseball bat. I take blows to the stomach. And it's really, a lot of these feats are metaphors for life, because I'm going to be doing feats of strength. But in life, sometimes life gives us a test of strength. There's things that we don't see coming in life sometimes. And there's things that these teenagers deal with now that we didn't have to. I'm a grandfather also, just like Carl. I have 5 grandkids, and I have 3 children that are grown. And they have to deal with things that we never had to deal with. Youth, when you combine kids and teenagers, it's about 30% of the population, but they are 100% of our future. So they're no doubt 100% of the future. Wow. So we have to invest in our youth. We have to invest in our youth. And Carl is a man on a mission. And I know we're not trying to make it religious, but my favorite book says that without a vision, people perish. And I can tell you that Carl has a vision, and the people in Paris, Tennessee are not going to perish. The youth are not going to perish, because he's coming strong. And I've never told him this, but my whole name is Carl Timothy Fox. I go by Tim, but my first name is Carl. So we're going to have 2 Carls together. We're going to have 2 Carls together. So I'm looking forward to it. After the show, I'll invite the kids to come up on stage, and the teenagers, and I will show them what I do. And I'm gonna tear a deck of cards for you guys, but I will show them the exact technique that I use to tear the cards. And you don't start with a full deck. It's like anything in life. You start and you make progress. So it's you start with just a few cards, and you have to learn the technique, and then you add a few cards. So just like anything in life that's worthwhile, it's a progression. You can't start playing the piano the first day. You learn a little song and you keep going. But I want the kids to come up on stage, the teenagers to come up on stage with me after the show. It's very rare that a performer is going to tell you that they're going to give you 100%. But I promise you, I will give you 100% of what I have. But at the end of the show, I will be drenched in sweat, because I'm giving you 100% of what I have. I'm going to bend and break everything in sight. And I'm going to try to encourage these kids to find their inner strength, the strength that's actually on the inside. And if they don't know how to do that, by the time we're done, they're going to know how to do it. We have to find our inner strength in life, because sometimes life does serve. We have to end up for ourselves in this life. And, we have to be strong. And physical strength is great. And I'm going to be doing physical strength, a lot of grip strength. But mental strength is more important than physical strength. And then the strongest strength of them all is spiritual strength. We have to be strong in spirit. We got to get our spirit strong, because he was just talking about the internet, the bullying that goes on, the cyberbullying. We have kids that are cutting themselves, and they don't know why, because they have trauma. And we've got to teach these kids that there's another way, and you have to focus on positivity in life. So I can't wait. If you can't tell already, you know, I'm super excited. I can't wait for the 20th, and I'm going to give you everything I have.
So I love when you said 30% of the population, but they're 100% of our future.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we don't look at that sometimes. Most of us don't even see that. We're in the here and now. We're trying to make our living. We're trying to make our legacy. We're trying to make our retirement, all
And
that.
hey, and another thing, I don't want to interrupt you, but if someday if I go into a nursing home, they're going to have to take care of me, so I got to treat them good now.
It's funny.
That's right.
It's funny that you'd say that because when my kids were small, I did jail ministry. And and somebody said, well, you don't have time to do that. I said, I don't have time not to. And I said, if I give to these ladies now, then they're going to give to their kids. And then my
Yeah.
kids are going to grow up with their kids. And it's going to make
Yeah.
a difference in the long run. Somehow, somewhere, it's going to make a difference, whether it be they'd be best friends or whatever. But I had to make a decision that, yeah, my kids were small and I had a lot going on, but I could invest in their future by doing the jail ministry. And I absolutely love jail ministry. And to this day, I can see some of the kids and the families and that I've touched, and you know, that the Lord touched through me, but I just have to say that. But it was a ministry.
That's awesome.
It was a biblical ministry, so I have to give it where credit's due. And but I love that 30% of the population and 100% of our future. Wow, I'm so excited about this. I can't hardly stand it. I really am. I can't even wait to get out of this chair.
Tim has encouraged me just listeing to him.
Absolutely. Well, he's got the same vision. He's got the same passion, and I have that
Yes.
too. So I can't even believe this. And like I said, last night at church, it hit me, and I said, I don't have time to do kids. I don't have time to do. I used to do youth years ago, and when my kids were small, and now my kids are grown. And I haven't even put myself in that category. But last night at church and tonight right here, I'm putting myself in that mix. And you got me for a volunteer, whatever you need. Now, what I got to do, talk to you about. Now, we are a weight loss fitness program. It's Me versus Me Life Change Challenge. And see back behind here, it says the struggle is real. So for you to do all of this bending and taking the punches and all that stuff, you have to be physically fit. So I would like to know when you started doing this craziness, I'm going to call it craziness, what I think it is.
Yes.
Bending a skillet or things, or you're going to break chains, you're going to do all kinds of stuff. So I have to know how in the world you got involved in something like this. Go ahead. I can't wait.
Yes. I was trained by a man in Houston, Texas named Dennis Rogers. And Dennis, he's a little older now. He's in his 60s, and he's somewhat retired, but he still does ministry work. He doesn't perform as much as he used to, but he's still very, very strong. Now, he's not a big guy. I'm a pretty big guy, but Dennis, you know, he weighs about 168 pounds. Now, I weigh 300.
You broke up. How much?
I weigh 300, but Dennis weighs 68. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Did you say you weigh three?
I weigh 300, but Dennis weighs 168. And he can bend some things that I can't bend. So, you know, he's amazing. But I learned through him, and it's learning the techniques, and then you just progressively build up, and you keep doing different feats, and you collect a bunch of different feats and put them into a show. And the feats are awesome, but it's something to get the kids' attention. And then when you get their attention, that's when you're going to hit them with a positive message. You know, you want to hit them with some encouragement for life, you know. So the feats are incredible, but the message is the most important.
Now, you are a motivational speaker, so you're not only going to take this bending and moving and blocking and all this stuff, you're going to take that into the motivational speaker and speaking mode, and you're going to not only minister to the kids, you got to change the parents too. So in order for, we think that we can just touch the kids, but what are we going to do for the parents? How are we going how are we
Oh,
going to change
definitely.
the parents? So the parents are going to
Yeah.
be there to see the show. So
Oh, yeah.
you have that opportunity to sow some seed like nobody else does
Oh, yeah.
into the parents and letting them see the vision of what this man right here has and the whole board. And so that's really exciting. Now do you go to the gym or what do you do? Do
I
you lift
do.
weights?
I've worked out. I've worked out for so long. I started working out when I was about 12 years old. So I've really worked out for over 30 years straight. But I started bending stuff back in about 2007. But I've been working my grip since probably, the last 20 years. So I've done a lot of specific grip things. I've lifted the Thomas Inch dumbbell. I've shut the number 3 Ironman grippers with either hand. I've competed in powerlifting. I've competed in arm wrestling, and I'd love to arm wrestle the kids there. And I'm not even going to take anybody down. I just want to see if they can take me down. So I've competed in arm wrestling. I've competed in grip sport, which is picking things up with your hands. I've competed in powerlifting, strongman, jiu-jitsu, all kinds of different things. But the motivational speaking is really what's in my heart. And I want to speak from my heart and encourage them. And I love to speak to the parents too. I love to speak to all ages. All ages really like my show because I was raised by my grandparents and they've passed away. They have the best seat in the house. They're in heaven.
Aww.
And my grandpa was born in 1920. So he grew up in the Great Depression and he was my father figure, and it's just, you can't, it was the greatest generation, and most of them now are in heaven, and it's just a different time period. There's nobody like him around anymore. You know what I mean? So I was so fortunate to be raised by my grandparents. But I tell stories about my grandparents, and I tell stories in the show about my grandparents. And older people love my show because of that. And so I try to have something for the older people. I try to have something for the parents, and I try to have something for the teenagers and kids too. I'll give away candy to the kids. Everything that I bend, I will give away to an audience member. Like I bend the horseshoe into the shape of an S. I'm going to ask if anybody's name begins with the letter S, and they're going to get that horseshoe. I'm going to bend the frying pan into a burrito, and I'm going to give it away. And I'm going to bend it into a burrito and give it away. I'm going to bend big steel bars and give those away. I'm going to rip a deck of cards, which I'm going to do that here in just a minute, and I'm going to give those away. So there'll be a lot of souvenirs, steel souvenirs that the kids get. And I'll bring some candy for the kids. Like I said, I'd love to arm wrestle all of them. So I'm just looking forward to it. I'm excited.
Now, do you like work out your hands, or do you, when you go to the gym, do you?
Yes. Yeah. I've trained my hands. I've trained my entire body for over 30 years, but I've trained my hands for at least 20 years.
Wow.
And I've been bending since 2007. So it's really, it's something that I really, really love. And it's just, it came natural for me, but I still had to work for it. So it's not like the first time I tried to bend a horseshoe, it did not bend. So, I had to progress into this. So, you keep a positive mental attitude. And if you fail, which you're going to fail in life sometimes, all you do is get back on the horse. Every time you get bucked off the horse, you get back on the horse. And I'm bending horseshoes and tearing cards and doing all kinds of things. So
now
you just never give up.
No. Now, what's the first thing that you bent that you decided you have this gift?
The first thing I bent was a horseshoe.
Really?
And then a 60 penny nail, which is about 6 inches long. And there's 3 ways to bend it. You can bend it this way, and this way. So there's a lot of technique to these feats. But yeah, the first thing that I bent was a horseshoe. So.
And did somebody dare you to do that? Or did you just decide, I'm going to try to bend this? No,
I read some old articles from this journal. It was about old time strongmen. It was called Milo, and it's no longer in print. But they had a horseshoe bending article, and I looked at that, and then that's how I found Dennis Rogers. They did a story on Dennis Rogers, and I was able to reach out to him and actually travel to Houston and train under him.
Wow. Wow. That is impressive. Okay. Now you said you have an Instagram, you have a TikTok, you have a
Yes.
website too?
I do not have a website at this time, but I do have Instagram and TikTok. I've been very fortunate. I have over 300,000 followers on TikTok.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
have 300,000 followers. I was able to do that by giving away these items that I bend and break. So I would bend something on TikTok, and then I'd say, I'm going to give it to one of you guys. And I would randomly pick somebody and mail it to their house.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now how many of these shows do you do a year? Because I know you work a full-time job.
Yes. Before the pandemic, I was doing a lot more, but altogether, I've done about 135 shows. I think this one for Real Hope will be 136. So I've done 136 performances.
How old are you?
I'm 44.
You're 44.
44.
And
Yes.
how do you ever get injured, or how do you keep from getting injuries?
No, I've been very, very fortunate. You know,
Wow.
I've been very fortunate. God's watched over me. I've had a lot of people praying for me. You know, my mother prayed for me a lot. My grandmother prayed for me a lot. You know, I was a small child, actually. I was very skinny, you know, but I always wanted to be strong. You know, it was just something that was put in me. And I believe that, I know we're not trying to make this too religious, but I believe that, you know, God gives you the desires of your heart if you're faithful.
I do. Yeah.
So my favorite stories were Samson and David and Goliath.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And then I was playing with He-Man action figures when I was a little boy. I was watching pro wrestling, you know, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage. So it was a different time growing up in the 80s. You know, it was more, you know, muscle strength, you know, that kind of thing. So I was always inspired to work out. So I wanted to work out as soon as I could. And I started when I was about 12 years old.
You know, you was talking about that scripture where it says God gives you the desires of your heart. I've heard that two ways. God gives the desires of your heart. Like, we think we have that desire to do this. You wanted to be a muscle man. You wanted to be a strong man.
Yep.
But then you think about it on another level. God gives you the desire to want to be that person. So there's two ways to look at it. So when I think, and I do music, so I say, and I write my own music, and I play and I lead worship and piano and things, and so I say, well, God gave me the desire because I wanted to play, but actually I think He put that desire in me to want to play, and therefore He taught me how to do it. And the funny thing about the jail ministry, I wanted to lead worship at the jail. And I didn't know how to play, and I didn't know how to sing, but I wanted to lead worship at the jail. So I bought this little bitty keyboard. It's about that big. I still have it. And I took that thing up those stairs. You remember the old jail, where the old jail used to be, close to where the Mitchum building is, where you was talking about. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and you had these big long stairs you had to go in, and I would take my keyboard in there at nighttime. And I asked somebody, I said, will you teach me how to play a song? And they taught me how to play a song with 3 chords. So I went in there and I would play that song every week because that's all I knew. And then I would learn that one, and I had to go to somebody else and now teach me another song. And they would teach me another song. So when we think about the desires of our heart, I can think that was my desire to be in the jail ministry. But no, I think God put that desire in me, and then He equipped me. And so I definitely think that He has equipped you. You're going to be such an inspiration to this community, to Carl, both of y'all Carls.
Yep.
And the whole board, because the board is the people, the hub of the city, because I know who you're talking about. Just having Judge on there is a big deal, because then she might work herself out of a job. You never know. She might not ever have a job. Jeff Snyder will never have another job when the teen center gets here. So that's going to be very exciting. Well, 6 o'clock on Saturday, and you're going to do something that's really cool. So I want to see it right now. I cannot wait.
Yes.
And let's see it.
All right.
And
you guys hear that there?
Okay. We can see it.
All right. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna tear this deck of cards. I'm gonna try to keep it up here so everybody can see it here.
Oh,
there we go.
That's got to be a trick photography right there. That can't be real. No, no, Tim.
There we are.
I'm gonna have to see that in person, Tim. I'm gonna have to see that in person.
You have to bring your own cards.
Yes, we'll definitely see it in person, and I'll probably do that with somebody on my shoulders.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I have to ask now. You told me on the phone that was that was fabulous. I can't wait. You bring your own cards, so you'll know that he didn't have them scored or anything. And so,
Yes.
so this call right here is going to bring you a deck of cards. But now you talked about you lifted those big logs and things. So tell
Mhm.
me about that. What was you were in competition with that, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I've competed in 2 strongman competitions, and I've competed in multiple powerlifting competitions. So powerlifting is squat, bench, and deadlift for 1 rep, but then a strongman competition is about 5 events, and they're going to be scattered out, like stone lifting, log lifting, deadlift for reps, farmer's walk, where you carry 2 heavy things.
Wow.
So it's just a variety of things that you do, and you train specifically for whatever you're doing. So if you train for arm wrestling, you're going to train for arm wrestling. If you train for powerlifting, it's going to be for powerlifting, and the same thing with strongman competitions. And I love strongman competitions, and I still do some of that kind of stuff in my show. Like I will carry somebody in the fireman's carry and carry 2 more people. So I actually carry 3 people at the same time. And that's similar to like a super yoke and farmer's walk. So I try to make it fun and interactive for the crowd.
I don't even know how we got to be so so blessed to have you in our community. I can't.
I'm excited.
We
I've never performed in Paris, so this will be my first time performing in Paris, and I'm excited.
you'll love Paris. We have some great people here.
Hey, we'll get you. We'll get a picture of you with the Eiffel Tower behind you.
We have an Eiffel Tower.
I would
here.
love that. I would love that.
Yeah.
I saw that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It got decorated for Christmas, and we really had Santa Claus crawling up it, so it's pretty cool.
That is cool. I like that.
Well, can't wait to see you here on Saturday, January 20th, and 6 o'clock is your show. It's free to the public, so come out and support. And that's Jones Chapel Church Rec Center.
They're Christian Life Center.
Christian Life Center, right next door to Jones Chapel. Jones Chapel's been there ever since I've been born. And that's off India Road. Yeah. And right, if you don't know where that's located, if you go down 79 toward the lake and you get to 218 bypass, right there where Sally Lanes used to be, take a left, and right there at the stop sign, take a left, and there you're right there. So it's just right out of the city limits. We're very. I want to thank you so much for being here, Tim. I want to thank you,
yes.
Carl, Timothy,
yes.
and Carl,
yes.
and y'all have a good night, and thank you so much, and God bless. I can't wait to see you on Saturday, and I hope I don't have to work, so we'll be good.
Yes.
So
thank you so much for having me. Thanks a lot, Tim. Appreciate it, brother.
Yes. Thank you, my friend.
And we'll be right back. Now join us again next Sunday at 8 p.m. with the newest episode of It's Me versus Me Life Change Challenge. If you would like to become a part of Me versus Me, we are accepting new participants to be a part of our life challenge. So if you're interested, contact us on www.itsmeversusme.tv. If I don't get back to you in a timely manner, please call 731-924-9249. And remember, our New Year's resolution is here. So if not now, then pick now to start your challenge. And what a way to get your year started the right way. God bless to all, and until we meet again Sunday at 8 p.m., take care and keep on believing in yourself. Bye-bye. It's me versus me. The struggle is real. It's me versus me. The struggle is real.